You are not responsible for the way the world is. You are not responsible for the collapse of all of our social structures that is occurring now. Governance, healthcare, commerce, education. You are not responsible for these things, yet at the same time they are creating experiences in you. What are you going to do with those experiences? Are you going to implode under the fear of the collective, or are you going to choose to see your experiences in different ways? Only you have the ability to choose how you will respond or react to something that the world provides to you. So what are you responsible for? From a perspective that you will acquire and are acquiring everything. Because your choices determine your experiences of the world. When you realize that having experiences in the Earth School is a miracle, then joy is everywhere. Welcome back. What are you responsible for? In your life, what are you responsible for? In the world, what are you responsible for? In your family, what are you responsible for? When you're alone, what are you responsible for? Is it ever even possible to be alone? These are the things that we're going to talk about in this podcast. If you see someone oppressing someone else, it's appropriate that you do what is necessary to prevent the oppressor from harming the oppressed. But if you judge either one, you create consequences for yourself. If you judge either one, you create painful karma for yourself. Mahatma Gandhi, the man who was responsible for helping India to eject a huge part of the British occupying army, and the British at the time were the most powerful colonial force in the world, from India, had this to say about it. He said, if I put myself between two people and one is beating on the other, by doing that, the one who's doing the beating will take out his rage on me, and the other will remain safe. Wow. Was Gandhi a fool? How could he be a fool if he mobilized the entire nation of India in a way that was non-violent? You can do that too. In fact, your sense of meaning and purpose is now taking you in that direction. Not to be a doormat to the world, but to be aware of what you are doing and the consequences that it creates. For example, if you say something and it accidentally upsets someone else, are you responsible for her upset? No, you are not. You don't have the power to change someone else's consciousness. Only they have the power to do that. If you try to make yourself responsible for what somebody else is feeling, you're setting an impossible task for yourself, and it will deplete you. If you say something to someone else because you see a strength in her character or a quality in her being that is loving or patient or compassionate or admirable, and she feels better because you said those things, maybe it makes her day. Are you responsible for making her day? No, you are not. You do not have that power. Only she has that power. And with our new consciousness, multisensory perception, we're beginning to use that capability consciously. And as we do, we create a new kind of power, authentic power. And it has not to do with changing the world. It has to do only with changing yourself. Think of yourself as a soul. We've talked about that, and I don't mean a soul as Christian theology talks about souls. I'm talking about soul as an immortal component of your personality. I'm talking about soul as that intelligence and presence and creativity that helps you experience that you are not simply a mind and a body. That is how 5th-century humans for 300,000 years thought of themselves, even long before they thought in terms of minds or bodies, even before they thought as we do. Only you have the ability to choose how you will respond or react to something that the world provides to you, that it gives to you. In other words, as I said, I will speak to you as though you are a soul, because you are a soul. You are a powerful and creative, compassionate, and loving spirit. You are in motion. That motion is your life in the Earth School. It began when you partially incarnated a part of your energy into what became a personality in the Earth School. And that incarnation will come to an end. And when it does, it is when you, as the soul, will decide to return home to non-physical reality and discard the personality. It's no longer of use to you. It's a costume, a suit that you have worn because it was appropriate dress in the domain of time and space and matter and duality and fear. While you are in this motion, which we are calling your life in the Earth School, it is leading you continually. Let it. Let it take you where it will. In the West we say, thy will be done. Thy meaning a superior entity, a superior presence or being, a presence or being that has more external power than anything or anyone else in the universe. There is no such thing. External power exists only in the Earth School, and it is only we who experience it continually when we were 5th century, and were evolving by surviving, and survived by developing the ability to manipulate and to control, to find shelter in a cave, to be able to cut with a sharp stone, to be able to kill at a distance with a bow and arrow. Now we are no longer 5th century and evolving by surviving. We no longer need to pursue external power, manipulation, and control, and more than that, much more. That pursuit is now counterproductive. It prevents our evolution. It creates only violence and destruction. So while you are in this motion, which is your life in the Earth School, begin to look at what it presents to you. And do this without judgment. This is part of creating authentic power. Frightened parts of your personality are very clear about what they do not want to experience. But they do anyway, because your life has led you to those experiences. Other parts of your personality can be delighted at what your life leads you to. Let them, but look at them. Do not become attached to them or what they want. You are not responsible for the way the world is. You are not responsible for the collapse of all of our social structures that is occurring now. Governance, healthcare, commerce, education. You are not responsible for these things, yet at the same time they are creating experiences in you. What are you going to do with those experiences? Said another way, in a time of radical change such as this, are you going to implode under the fear of the collective? Or are you going to choose to see your experiences in different ways, constructive ways, and use them constructively? And what does that mean? It means use them to create with your considerable creative capacity consequences for which you are willing to assume responsibility, consequences that are aligned with your soul, with harmony, cooperation, sharing, and reverence for life. In other words, you are not responsible for your life or what is in it. It is taking you with the wisdom of the universe where it needs, where you need to be taken. And what does it mean to say it is taking you? Does it mean that there is a divine intelligence at some place in the universe determining what you should experience next and next and next and next? Well, there is, but it's going to surprise you. It may not be what you think or ever thought it could be. It's you. What you are experiencing moment by moment in the Earth School, you have chosen. In the East, this is called karma. As you have created in the past experiences of pain and contraction, or experiences of joy and bliss and expansion, you will experience them, and you do continually. Every moment in the Earth School is a karmic necessity. You determine what's going to happen in this journey through the Earth School. How can you blame someone else? In other words, look at it this way. Suppose you're in a boat and you're on a river. You're crossing the river, and you know how to cross a river in a boat because it's part of your experience. But while you're in the river, another boat appears and it slams into your boat. And a frightened part of your personality becomes active, and it yells at the person behind the tiller in the other boat, "Hey, look where you're going. Open your eyes. This river doesn't belong to you. I'm on it too. There's a lot of people on it. Wake up." And on and on and on. This is a frightened part of your personality, pursuing external power. It's trying to change the world the way it wants it to be changed so that it will feel better itself. Now, suppose the same circumstance. You're in the river, another boat slams into your boat, but there's no driver in the other boat. The other boat has broken loose from its moorings on the bank and is drifting in the river, and the current in the river has brought it into contact with your boat. Pow! Bam! It's an abrupt experience. Suddenly this boat has slammed into your boat. Are you going to get angry at the other driver and say, "Wake up, who do you think you are? There's no driver"? You won't waste your time, of course. You're not going to shout at empty air. You're going to do what you need to do to untangle, to disengage the boat that has hit yours from your boat, move it on its way, and you to continue on your way. If this is a meaningful example to you, apply it in your life. Every time you encounter an experience that you don't like, there's no one in the other boat. You created it. In other words, you are not responsible for the world as it is and your journey through it. You are responsible for your choices. As you encounter what your life is bringing to you next, and it will always be another point of choice, and continually, you are responsible for what you choose. Now, does that mean you choose to shout or you choose not to shout? That's a behavioral way of thinking and looking, and it doesn't go very deep. You are responsible for your intention. If you speak, if you shout, what is your intention? Suppose, for example, you are walking on a trail with a friend. It's a beautiful day. It's a single-lane trail, single-path trail. Your friend's in front of you, and you're talking about politics, and suddenly you get completely impatient with your friend, and you push him hard and into the brush. That was what happened in the event. You're walking on a trail, you push your friend, and you push him because you want to shut him up. You don't want to hear what he's saying. Now here's the same scenario, but something significantly different about it. You're walking down the trail. Your friend is in front of you. He's talking about politics or whatever he wants to talk about, and you see a rattlesnake very close to the edge of the trail, and you push him hard in the other direction. Now, it's the same situation. You're walking on the trail, talking with your friend, and suddenly you push him. What's different? The intention. The first intention was to make him wrong, to dominate him, to please yourself. The second intention was to protect him, to keep him safe because he was not aware of something that could be harmful to him. The second intention was love. The first was fear. The first intention created consequences that were difficult for you, would have been. The second intention created consequences that would have been joyful for you. That's the case moment by moment. You choose your intention, love or fear, when you speak. You choose your intention, love or fear, when you don't speak. Or you're not speaking in fear because you want to make someone else wrong, or you're not speaking in love because you feel that would be the most effective way to communicate something in the moment that is a gift you'd like to give. Be aware of your power. Be aware of how you are using it. There is no right or wrong way of being in the Earth School. There is no should do this, should do that. There's no should not do this and should not do that. There is what is in the Earth School, and it offers you continually one lesson to learn: love. That is your curriculum in the Earth School, in this time, space, matter, and duality. Creating authentic power is your discipline. That's how you do it. That's how you learn. That's how you learn the most fundamental thing that can be learned and must be learned at the beginning of all spiritual development. Choice. Your choice. Without it, you can go no further. You are responsible for your choices, whether you are aware of it or not. And when you speak, and you're not aware of the intention, you are creating as powerfully as you are when you are aware of your intention for speaking or not speaking. And you will experience the consequences. In other words, the Earth School does not judge. Humans judge one another, or to be more specific, frightened parts of personalities judge others. But the universe does not judge you. Whether you choose love or you choose fear. There is learning in each choice. If you choose love, you choose a road, so to speak, in that moment that is less steep, less difficult, less obstructed. And if you choose fear, you choose a path that is steeper, more difficult, and filled with obstacles. But in both cases, there is learning. How do you want to learn wisdom? Through love and trust, or through fear and doubt? It's your choice. The universe will not reward you for one choice or punish you for the other. You alone hold the power to choose your intention and to act on it. That's what you are responsible for. Not responsible in a stern disciplinarian sense, like I gave you this lesson yesterday and now it's 3 days later and you haven't turned it in yet and you've got a stern teacher in school. No, it's not like that at all. You are responsible for your choices because there is no consciousness in the universe that is not responsible for how it uses its energy. And you are part of that. You will always be part of that, in the Earth School and beyond it, which you will experience when you die. That responsibility for how you use your creative capability is always a part of you, no matter what form you takes in the present or outside of the Earth School. This is good news. This is amazing news. This is the most exquisite, effective, awesome, learning dynamic I can even begin to imagine. All the supercomputers in the Earth School put together could not calculate what this learning environment brings into your life in each moment. And when you're with other people, it's the same. All of them are experiencing an opportunity to grow spiritually that is perfect for that interaction, given the wisdom of the choices that they've created. So what are you responsible for? From a perspective that you will acquire and are acquiring, everything. Because your choices determine your experiences of the world and beyond that. Oh, who could ever give you better news? All of the experiences of your life, painful and blissful, are gracious gifts of a gracious universe, showing you what you need to challenge and move beyond the control of in order to give the gifts that you were born to give, or to cultivate so that you can give them and are giving them. When you see this, you will walk the earth with a sense of profound gratitude and appreciation and love and joy. When you realize that having experiences in the Earth School is a miracle, then joy is everywhere. If you're enjoying anything you're hearing on this podcast, subscribe to it. Now, what do I mean by enjoy? Do I mean, is it entertaining for you? Does it make you laugh? Does it make you forget your worries? That's not what I mean. I mean, do you resonate with anything that I say as relevant, profound, and pertinent for you, not for the world, for you. Something that you can use, something that you can experiment with in your life. If you do, if you resonate, then subscribe, because there's more where this comes from. It comes from the universe, as do you. Here's a soul step for you. Take out your notebook. It should be pretty worn by now. Maybe you've replaced it with new ones a couple of times. Whatever you're writing on, write this. When was the last time the universe gave you something for the purpose of supporting you in your spiritual growth? And then begin to write. You might need another few notebooks just to get to the end of the day. Once you begin to see what a miracle you are and what a miracle your life is. I'm looking forward to being with you again. It's a joy to be with you. It always is. I'm Gary Zukav.